Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end. In this life, you know you can't pretend. The days pass by, they've set in stone. But it's not too late now for you to change your tone. Don't speak. Don't speak. Open your soul. Don't harden your heart. Don't speak. Don't speak. Open your soul. Don't harden your heart. Don't bask in a light that's not yours. We're not fighting a fictitious war. Don't boast about all the things that you've done, because in your hand you hold the gun. Your voice isn't gone, it's not been stripped away.
Hey everyone, it's Mary and from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. Today is Monday and it is July 7th, and many of you are flooding our inbox with emails regarding the UFT RTC meeting today, regarding Michael Mulgrew's statement about who to vote for in the mayoral election. So there were a couple of things I wanted to touch on, and I just want to touch on a few things. I don't want to touch on everything or I'll be here all night, but I want to make this short and sweet and to the point, because there was misinformation again in this video that he sent out. And thank you everyone who sent us short little clips, because we uploaded everything that you sent us and very quickly combined it together in order to be able to put this to show this to you. And let me see if I can move to that screen somewhere. It's hiding. Okay, let's see. All right. So in this video, you will see Michael Mulgrew. And I want to play this for you. And there's 2 points I actually wanted to talk about. One, he talks about healthcare, and 2, he talks about a current assemblyman, Zoran Mamdani, who he says made a promise about Medicare Advantage. And then I want to show you exactly what he did say and what he didn't say and what he has been saying. And it's important that you have the truth, because it's important. Facts matter, according to us. I don't know about anybody else, but this is what we believe. And I want to make sure that you know what the facts are. Okay, so let's just share this first part with you that he said.
Will the UFT ask that any candidates publicly oppose Medicare Advantage?
They already have. And just for the retirees, I don't know, we made it clear that we were not going to support this. So the current mayor knew that that was something, even though they won the court case, they would not be able to get it through. And we basically had it blocked. And then he came out and announced that he was not supporting it. He wasn't going to do it. And Mamdani, I asked him that question directly on the stage of spring conference, and he said he would not support it.
Great.
Okay, let's break that one down. let's go to Zoran's website. On his website, there is a statement, and it was because of all of the pressure that the retirees put on him. So the 2-sentence statement right here says, as mayor, Zoran will reject Medicare Advantage and reject higher copays for in-service workers. Do I need to read that one more time? Do I? Because this seems to be confusing for people. And I need to make this crystal clear. In this 2-sentence statement, nowhere in here does he mention retiree. Zoran will reject Medicare Advantage and reject higher copays for in-service worker. Am I an in-service worker? No. Are you an in-service worker? No, you're a retiree. Okay. The second sentence says, instead, he'll partner with workers and their unions to take on, well, wait a minute. Let me say that again. Let me say it slowly. Instead, he'll partner with workers and their unions to take on the fragmented for-profit healthcare system and lower costs for everyone. Do I need to read that a third time? So just in case people needed like the Cliff Note version, down below, you'll see below our logo, because that's literally, that top part is literally right off his page. Underneath, I wrote, this statement does not say he will protect current retirees from Medicare disadvantage or higher copays. This statement says he will reject Medicare Advantage and higher copays for in-service workers. Retirees are not in service, and we do not have unions. And that's important because this keeps getting misapplied, misunderstood, misspoken, falsely spread that he is against Medicare Advantage. If he's against Medicare Advantage for current retirees, he'll say it. If he's against passing higher copays onto retirees, he'll say that. But I want to remind you something. Exactly is it that's been passing copays onto retirees and active workers? It's the Municipal Labor Committee. And it's been largely pushed by the United Federation of Teachers and at times DC 37. But every union leader I've spoken to says that the main push comes from the UFT. Why? Because the UFT is one of the few unions that has some reimbursements to their members. There's other groups of employees that have, but the majority of DC 37 people don't get copay reimbursements or reimbursements for hospitalization or partial reimbursements of any dental plans. DC 37 does get their dental. Their dental plan is mostly covered by the DC 37 plan. You have to use their in-network providers, and if not, then you end up paying. And many people are using that plan wrong. But even their drug plan is provided for by the union. In the UFT, your drug plan you have to purchase once you become retired at a cost of $150 a month, which is ridiculous. But your union also provides you with a partial reimbursement of that premium for the retiree, not the family member. So there's some differences here, but because there are some reimbursements in some of the programs that are afforded to you through any union benefit that you have by becoming a member of the UFT RTC, you are entitled to some of these other programs. That's not the majority of retirees. So it's important to clarify why. He knows you're getting part of that back, and he also knows the teachers are a higher earner typically. You're more current retirees than the older retirees. So I want to clear that up right there. That's not true. So now I want to go into the second part of that video. So let's go back to Mulgrew. And I think I want to jump to about 23 minutes. Oops.
Federal level, from the state level, and in New York City, they get a lot from the city of New York. But we have to move into a place where they have to stop thinking about, they have to continue to raise their revenue each quarter. And that's really what's been the biggest issue we're dealing with, is they're constantly talking, they're worried about their profit, their quarterly profits, and they're all non-for-profit. And that just means more being put on us, which means that's us in the city. The costs keep going up and up and up. Senior care costs went over $500 million 2 years ago. It was never over 100 million for quite some time. And that's just straight up greed.
Okay. So there's a lot in there I want to break out for you. So he says that for the first time 2 years ago, that senior care went over $500 million. That's not true either. We have all of the rate sheets going back to 1997. We can show you, and it also wasn't $100 million either. So let's show you what some of that looks like, and then I want to show you some of the current rates. So in this rate sheet right here, let me see if I can open this in a larger format so I could see it. I want you to see, these are called COBRA sheets. COBRA sheets is 102% of the cost. And this is if you're not on payroll and you have to, you're paying for your healthcare, or if you leave city service, or if your spouse passes and you end up having to purchase healthcare for you and your family, this is what you would pay, right? It's 102% of the cost. So that 2% is administrative. I just want you to know that. So when you start to see some of these rates, it's important that you start to note what's the difference. So in this chart here, let me see if I can, I definitely need to open this up bigger. Oops. Okay. In this chart, you'll see that the senior care plan is up here on the right. And this is 1997. The individual rate was $90.42, right? So this is 1997. And it was $90.42. So you take out that 2% admin fee, it's like $88, right? Now you look at the employee side, 1997. And now the employee side is up here on the left-hand side. The individual plan is $149 for your GHI. So let's just say $149.59. And the family plan is $391.13. That's 1997. Now, if I scroll down, let's go right to about when they started messing with it. Let's do 21 because they voted on this in March. So now senior care in 2021 is $208.62. So over the course of those years, and so you know what we're talking about, 2021, oops. So right there's a 24-year time period. You went from $90, so that's almost $100, $90 to $208 in 24 years. That's not skyrocketing. Now let's look at, in the same time frame of 24 years, what did the GHI cost for individual and family? Let's go back over here to the left-hand side. GHI CBP is $871.53, and the family plan was $2286.89. So over the course of 24 years, the individual plan went from almost $150 to almost $900. The family plan went from $391 to almost $2,300. Who's skyrocketing? I got to say this again, who's skyrocketing? It's not a Medicare retiree. It's just not. Now you want to go a little bit further. Let's go up to current times. I think I just added the 2025 sheets. I did. Okay. So from 2021, the senior care rate was $208.62. Up here, now you see senior care is $228.87. What is the individual and family rate? Let's go to GHI CBP. The individual rate is $1,172.91, and the family rate is $3,080.22. So I think I proved my point right there that it is not retiree healthcare that's skyrocketing. It has nothing to do with retirees, unfortunately. And yet, Mr. Mulgrew keeps saying that this is a retiree healthcare issue. Now, I want to get into some of the differences in the costs. He said that senior care was costing for the first time 2 years ago over $500 million, $500 million, right? So I think this was the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. 2023. Okay, so let's go to 23. And I just want you to know these are official documents. You see, this came from Michael Babbitt to Renee Campion and Georgette Gessley. This was in October of 2023. And I want to go to, whoops, I just passed it. Okay, total Medicare by health insurance carrier. In 2023, there were 160,794 contracts of people who were on GHI, Blue Cross Senior Care, okay? And this is Medicare, total Medicare by health carrier. These are all the health insurance companies that a Medicare eligible person could choose, but 97% of the people that are on Medicare are on senior care. Do you see this number here? $438 million. This is what it cost the city in the city of New York for Medicare. There's a couple of agencies that get their benefits through the city, but they actually pay the city for their health benefits. And that's in this first column, this all funds. But this is the column that we're looking at right here is city funds. $438 million. Now, this is 2023. This is not over $500 million. 2023, okay? Let's go back. And I want to show you what it looked like. Remember, because he said it was only about $100 million for the longest time, and then it skyrocketed to $500 million. So this here, you see in the top right, June 23, 2014. I want to go again to the same sheet. Oops. The same chart. Total Medicare by health insurance. In 2014, that number was $298 million. And there was 138,087 contracts. Again, that's not $100 million. This is 2014. And we're still at just about $300 million. But the cost of a retiree that's on Medicare is the least expensive cost to the city. Now, if it was the other way, you would have evidence of this, and we don't. This is a lie to keep saying that this is what's happening when it's not. Now, let's go to a more one in between. Was this 2021? Yep. Okay. So right in between 2021, April, this was right around the time that they were doing this to retirees. They had voted in March of 21 to push us into a Medicare Advantage plan. So total Medicare by healthcare insurance carriers, again, you have GHI, Blue Cross, $439 million. This is 2021, 86% of people were on senior care. You have 10% on HIP. And I know there's that knucklehead down in Florida who keeps saying, or even Henry Garrido has said it, everyone chooses Aetna. No, if you see Aetna's third on the list here, they had a 1% market share in this, which was 2,200 contracts. That's it. Most of the people chose senior care, chose traditional Medicare, the federal public health benefit. So I hope you understand when you're listening to someone spew off things to you that sound like facts, it's important that you know what they're talking about. What Michael Mulgrew said today, there's no facts. Senior care is the least expensive cost to the city. I showed you how the active worker plan is the most expensive to the city. You also have that little video where Michael Mulgrew in 22 said, the city said, if we give them back that 20% plan, referring to your senior care, we'll give you that money for their welfare funds. And he wanted the money for the welfare funds. Again, gaslighting and lying. This is real, folks. I mean, I can't make this up. I'm using city official documents, Michael Mulgrew's own words, to keep proving to you you're being lied to. And I'm sorry, that's exactly what's happening. So let's see. There's a couple of questions in the chat, and then I'm just going to drop off and I'll see you guys on Friday, I guess. What's going on with copays? I'm getting murdered in bills. Well, Robert, copays case is still being argued. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about it, pushing it. It's still a conversation that's going back and forth. Danielle says, Marion, I would like some copies so I can share with the teachers in my school when I go back in September. Yes, Danielle, I will probably attach. I have to upload these into our website, and then I will send the links maybe in a newsletter. As long as you're on our newsletter, you'll get that. Okay. I missed the announcement about this. No, I didn't announce it. You guys were filling up our email box just like within the last hour over this meeting today that you guys had. And I wouldn't have known because I'm not a teacher and I'm not a retired teacher. So you guys, though, watched that Michael Mulgrew event, and you sent me video, you sent me audio, and you sent me a million emails telling me that he's lying. And I said, yes, I know he's lying. After seeing everything, I will make sure I fact check it for you. So in our traditional form of debunking bullshit, this is yet another episode of debunking bullshit. And unfortunately, it's the UFT again. They do keep me busy. Anyway, I think I just about touched on everything. I want to make sure you remember this, because this is super important. Zoran does not say he will protect a retiree. He doesn't. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. Hold on. That reminds me. Let's go to the other audio because you guys sent me this too. So Michael Mulgrew said that he asked Zoran Mamdani about the retirees. Oops. Where did that go? Did I just lose it? Nope, here it goes. Okay. So he asked him about Medicare Advantage. And I want you to hear exactly Zoran's words and the question that was posed to him.
So we believe that quality premium-free health care for city employees is not a privilege, it's a right. And we want to know.
Okay, quality premium-free health care for employees. Employees.
Because you sound like you're a strong advocate for the rights of the average person. What are you going to do to stand with us and collaborate with us and partner with us if you are elected mayor to ensure that all city employees have quality free premium health care?
I will be proud to be a partner with you and to recognize the leverage that the city has due to the sheer size of this workforce. Too often we're coming to a negotiating table almost apologizing when in fact they are lucky to have us. And that means we can win so much more to ensure that money is staying in your pockets, because what we've seen is these healthcare premiums, they continue to skyrocket. And we look at the world, we pay so much more for healthcare and we receive so much less. That's not a natural dynamic. That's something we can fix. And so I will use every tool in my toolbox as the mayor, but also as your partner, to ensure that we continue to have that as a right and we continue to actually increase the benefits of those very plans.
Okay, next one.
Okay. So I think I made that pretty clear that he is not advocating for anyone. That sentence right here that we had in this little statement, oops. He literally said what the UFT said. They don't talk about Medicare Advantage. He doesn't talk about rejecting higher copays. He talks about partnering with workers and their unions to take on the healthcare system. So I think Zoran also needs to know that the UFT has been one of the major parties in advocating for passing costs onto retirees and employees and diminishing healthcare benefits for everyone across the board, rather than being a strong union leader and saying to management and saying to OMB, I'm not negotiating down my healthcare. I'm not passing copays onto my workers and my retirees. Hard stop. No, Every union leader we've spoken to said Michael Mulgrew or Jeff Sorkin walks into the MLC meeting and says the city needs more money and we got to find copays. And this is what they keep doing. So it's very disingenuous for Mulgrew to sit there and try to convince a mayoral candidate that they have to stop this when he's been guilty of doing this. And then because of the weighted voting structure of the Municipal Labor Committee, basically tying the hands of every single union to being obligated to giving back healthcare for all of their members and their retirees, whether they want to or not. Because remember, that wasn't an overwhelming vote. There were several unions that did vote for it, but because of the weighted voting structure, Mulgrew got what he wanted. And if you remember, his 2014 contract was contingent upon that. And if you go back to the minutes, and we did a video on this, it was contentious. That meeting was very contentious among the union presidents that were there because they did not want to diminish benefits for their workers or their retirees. They did not want to tap the stabilization fund for healthcare. So, D, I want to tell you that he'll make a Medicare plan for all. That's wonderful. You know what he also should be saying? That he would protect what we have today because he can't promise as mayor he will do a Medicare plan for all, because if mayors could have done that, they would have done that already. In order to get that, he's going to need the state to do that. You have a state bill that's been trying to pass a health care for everyone, the New York Health Act, for 30 years, and it doesn't pass. So, D, I'm really sorry that I don't believe that. I would rather he commit to protecting what you have in your hand today, as well as working towards that for tomorrow. Anything less, he's not being genuine with you. So that, unfortunately, is the truth. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, we are going to keep fighting for what you have in your hand today, because that's what we can do, and that is what we promised you we would do. And we are going to keep vetting candidates, because if this man didn't have a problem with committing to this, he would have said to you, hey, Marianne, I want to agree that I am going to protect your federal public health benefit of Medicare, one of the greatest civil rights achievements ever, that prevented people from being denied access to doctors and hospitals simply because of their income or their skin color. I want to make sure that we are protecting this safety net so that no matter where you go, no matter where you retire, you have access to federal public health benefit and 99% of the doctors in America. Anything less than that, my dear, he is not promising you anything, because he's had plenty of time to give me that ringy-dingy and say, hey, listen, Mayor, I want to do this for you and your people. He hasn't done this for me. He hasn't done this for you. And not meeting me since January speaks volumes. I'm going to keep saying it. He doesn't have your back until he tells you the words out of his mouth. I got your back on this. That's all you got to say. Anyway, have a great night, guys. I will, if there's more stuff that comes out tomorrow, I'll come back. Keep sharing me stuff. I don't mind jumping on and doing these quick little videos and helping explain to you, all of this stuff. There's a couple people on Instagram, and I hate that my Instagram comments don't come through, but let's see. They cannot retain teachers because of policies just like that. I know. You're welcome. Yep. And he's not going to help us. I agree with you 100%. So thanks for my Instagram, guys. Thank you for all on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. We do appreciate your support in this and listening. And I want to, again, focus on this statement, because he's telling you who he is. As mayor, Zoran will reject Medicare Advantage and reject higher copays for in-service workers. We're not in service. Instead, he'll partner with workers and their unions to take on the fragmented for-profit healthcare system and lower costs for everyone. Well, I would really like him to say he would take on not forcing us into Medicare Advantage. He would pass a bill so that you don't have to keep spending your pension already earned, and that you never had to pay, you shouldn't have had to fight to retain. You earned this. You paid for this. You helped pass this bill in the 60s, many of you. This was your healthcare benefit. You were always told you would have a choice of health benefits to choose from. You would have Medicare and a city paid supplement when you retired. That's what you were told, because we know And that's important to remember and keep reminding them. We're not going away, guys. We're going to always be here to call out this crap whenever we see it. You guys have a great night, and I will see you whenever the next one comes around. Probably tomorrow, because I hear there's another meeting tomorrow afternoon. Ciao, guys. See you later.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end. In this life, you know you can't pretend. The days pass by, they've set in stone. But it's not too late now for you to change your tone. Don't speak